Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm reviewing Annabelle Comes Home. And like with every review on this channel, it's just our opinion, and I'd like to hear yours in the comments below. So, Annabelle Comes Home is the third film in the Annabelle series. Now, I'm always a little skeptical whenever these movies come out. They've been so hit or miss for me. I really love The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2. Thought the second Annabelle was pretty good. The first Annabelle and The Nun were movies I just was really disappointed with, so I'm always worried. It's so hit or miss for me. And I have to say, this one kind of fell in the middle for me. I like it better than the first Annabelle, and I like it better than The Nun, but I don't think I like it quite as much as the second film, and I certainly don't like it as much as the two Conjuring films. As far as the story in this one, there isn't really that much of a story. You see the beginning, you're seeing the Warrens take possession of Annabelle after the events of the first and second Annabelle film, and basically all that happens is Judy Warren, who is their daughter, has a babysitter, and her babysitter has a friend who is not a very bright person. She is dealing with some grief issues, so there's some justification a little bit to her actions. But she comes over and unleashes Annabelle. And it always struggles with horror movies when you have a character that just does something really dumb, and that's the reason why these events are happening. So that whole aspect of it kind of fell a little short for me. The story itself, there isn't a lot going on. I thought it had some cool horror elements. I think it has those Conjuring-esque moments with the music and the creepy imagery, but it does rely a little bit more on jump scares than the Conjuring films. As far as the acting goes, I think Mckenna Grace was really great as Judy Warren. I think her conflicted nature really added a little element to the movie. Her kind of dealing with her personal life and her dealing with having these images being seen like her mother has, and then her trying to take over and take control of the situation as a child was really interesting. I thought that she did a really good job. Obviously, Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are great as the Warrens. I think they are my favorite part of all these films. Obviously, The Conjuring, Conjuring 2, they're very prominent in. This one, not so much. I like the moments they were on screen. I think they just add a very wholesome and interesting aspect to the series that is so dreadful and horrible. It's kind of like the light to the darkness of the series. I always love when they're in the films. They just weren't in this one enough for me. I cannot wait to see a Conjuring 3 that they are in. I'm hoping, honestly, for an Amityville horror-esque Conjuring, because they were involved in that case, and I would love to see that on the big screen. Some of the things I did like, I think it was interesting that, not to spoil too much in this movie, but it does kind of have the Warrens cases come to life, or at least those created for this movie. And some of the creatures and spirits and entities were really scary and really creepy. I think that the part with the ferryman, when you see the film, there's a part with a character called the ferryman, was pretty creepy, and you have the sound design and the visuals of the little coins on their eyes and those falling and that movement. That was interesting. I thought they had some interesting ideas in this movie. Just the story overall really wasn't there. There wasn't really a story to be told. It was Annabelle unleashes these entities and it takes place over the course of a night. And that's really all that there is there for the movie. But I thought some of those were cool. Some of the things that really didn't work for me is there's a entity that is entirely CGI, and it just kind of takes you out of the movie. I think that these movies really do well when it's these more practical looking effects and feel more tangible, more real and scary. When that happens, I just feel like I'm watching a cheesy, like, Goosebumps movie. The comedy really didn't work for me. The humor in this film felt very forced and very jarring. There's some really stark tone shifts in this movie, especially after the events that are happening are so terrible and so grounded and so horrible, and then it just kind of cuts to almost like a humorous moment shortly after. It bothered me. I started laughing in the theater. I'm like, this is weird. Like, to go from this horribleness to like, oh, hey, you're still here. But yeah, I don't know. That kind of bothered me a little bit. So overall, I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's as good as the Conjuring main films. It's not as horrible for me as The Nun or Annabelle. It kind of falls a little bit in the middle. If I were to rate this movie, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not great. I think it's slightly above average. At the end of the day, if you're a big fan of these series, I think you'll enjoy it. If you just want to go see a horror film that is pretty quality made as far as cinematography and ideas, but you don't want it to be too in-depth or read into it too much, I think it's definitely worth checking out. If you're a fan of the franchise, I think it's worth checking out. But other than that, just your slightly above run-of-the-mill supernatural film. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and let me know, how does this rank in the Conjuring universe for you? Did you like it? Did you hate it? I always want to hear all the opinions down in the comments. And see you guys next time.